I'm trying to figure out the best way to communicate all this information that exists on this little matrix of conformance results. Basically, this is what's going on. In the rows are companies that I'm testing, reports that were filed by companies, and I picked the Fortune 100. And down the rows are each of the Fortune 100 companies. In the columns are conformance tests. And in the cells, you can see whether the filing conformed or did not conform to the conformance test. So the conformance tests are grouped into major groups. I have minimum readability. I used to call these the minimum criteria. I have the fundamental accounting concepts and relations between the concepts. That used to be part of this minimum criteria, but I kind of ungrouped those. Then I have disclosures, and then I have report frame information. The report frame information is only for reference right now. The major addition here are these disclosures. So what I'm trying to do is figure out how well these filers are doing and what constitutes a good filing, what constitutes not so good. But anyway, this information about the disclosures helps to shed new light. So the more green that you see, the better that a filer is doing. The more yellow shows issues. So now for each of these cells, you can click on the cell and you can see the detail and show, see what the filing conforms with and what it does not conform with. So for example, here 3M, you can see BS1, here's the rule, and that they conform to that rule. Here you can click on the disclosure and you can see that they're not conforming. This commentary explains why they're not conforming. Here you can see that this nature of business disclosure is not found. And here's other information that analyzes that disclosure. You can see that for all of these disclosures. So what's even more interesting is that you can click here. That takes you to an analysis of that individual disclosure for each of the entities. And you have lists, so there's all entities. There's all conforming entities. So for this disclosure, 53 entities conform to all the rules. Here are the non-conforming entities. You can click on each of these entities, and there's 3M again, and understand why they're not conforming. And that's really what this shows. So one thing I want to point out is that I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 disclosures. You can see that some are conform with more than others. So long-term debt, this column has a lot of yellow. That means there's a lot of people that don't conform. That's a very complex set of relations if you go look at it, which is explained if you go here. Whereas property, plant, and equipment, the vast majority of companies conform to that, and they actually have that disclosure. A third can be shown by this product liability accrual. ND means no disclosure. They don't have a property liability accrual, so therefore they don't have to disclose it. Here, if you click OK, that shows the property liability accrual text block, and then the detailed information, and you can see that the detail ties to the text block. So here you can see that most companies don't have the disclosure. The ones that do most comply with the disclosure. let's see, this is a interesting one perhaps. Here, they simply are not providing the text block, but they do have a liability, product liability accrual. It does foot correctly, but they do not have the text block. So they use a different, what this is saying is they use a different one. But anyway, that is how you use this, and there's a wealth of information here, and I'm going to call that good for now.